Level 1, the volunteer. You stand before the massive iron doors in Albagny. When those doors open, your old life dies. They take your passport, your phone, your clothes. You are handed a declared identity, a fake name, age, and history. For the next 5 years, you belong exclusively to the French Foreign Legion. You're shipped to the farm for 4 months of basic training, designed to break you down to zero. You don't speak French, so you learn through physical pain. When you mess up an order, you do push-ups until your arms fail. You learn to scrub a toilet until you see your reflection. Your breaking point hits during the Marque Kepi Blanc, a 50-kilometer mountain march with an 80-pound rucksack. Your boots fill with blood, guys collapse around you, but you keep walking. When you cross the finish line hollowed out, they hand you the white kepi. You are an engaged volunteer. Level 2, the Legionnaire. You are assigned to a combat regiment. Welcome to your 5-year contract. Here's the truth. You have zero freedom. You aren't legally allowed to marry, buy a car, rent an apartment off base, or even wear civilian clothes on weekend passes. Your universe shrinks to the regiment walls. The daily routine is soul-crushing. If you aren't running 10 miles before sunrise, you're doing mindless chores. You mop spotless floors. You pull guard duty in the freezing rain while France sleeps. You obey instantly because the Legion runs on an iron hierarchy. You are the lowest rank on the food chain, and the corporals happily make your life a living hell to remind you. Level 3. The first class, you keep your mouth shut, take the abuse, and after a year, you are promoted to Legionnaire First Class. It's a tiny pay bump, but a massive bump in respect. The corporal stops screaming at you just for breathing. More importantly, you specialize. You might train as a combat medic, a designated marksman, or an armored vehicle driver. This is when you get your first real deployment. You're dropped into the suffocating jungles of French Guiana to hunt armed gold miners, or sent to the unforgiving deserts of Mali. When bullets snap past your head in a sandstorm, your muscle memory instantly takes over. The mindless discipline from your first year makes sense. They weren't torturing you at the farm. They were programming you to survive when the real shooting started. Level 4, the corporal 2.5 years in. You've proven you don't crack. Under pressure, they send you to the caporal course. Corporals are the backbone of the Legion. You're now directly in charge of a small team. You remember how much you despised your corporals when you joined, and now you become exactly like them. You scream at recruits who don't understand French. You tear bunks apart over a speck of dust. It's a heavy psychological shift. You are no longer just keeping yourself alive. You are responsible for 4 other guys. You realize enforcing merciless discipline in the barracks is the only way to guarantee absolute obedience in a firefight. You become hard and uncompromising. Level 5. The Chief Corporal. You hit the 6-year mark, survive your contract, and sign on for more. You are a caporal chef. You are a senior enlisted soldier. Officers look to you for the gritty reality on the ground. You aren't screaming at recruits anymore. You are the technical expert running the armory or serving as a seasoned veteran in a combat squad. You finally get your life back. You can buy a car, rent an apartment in town, wear normal clothes, and officially request permission to marry. But when you step back into the civilian world, it feels completely alien. You realize you have way more in common with hardened killers than with regular society. Level 6. The sergeant. You pass the brutal NCO exams and are promoted to sergeant. You are a true leader, commanding a section of highly trained men. When your platoon deploys, young officers fresh out of military academies rely entirely on your experience. They have the rank on paper, but you have the operational knowledge that keeps people alive. The weight of the job fundamentally changes here. It isn't about physical endurance. It's tactical execution. You study maps late at night, planning patrol routes and making split-second decisions that determine who goes home in a body bag. The stress ages you. You drink heavier on weekends. You sleep a little less. Level 7. The Chief Sergeant 10, 12 years in. You are a surgeon chef. You are the grizzled veteran of your company, surviving ugly deployments in Africa, the Middle East, and South America. You've lost friends. When you walk through the barracks, younger Legionnaires plaster themselves to the walls out of pure respect. You are the right-hand man to the company commander. You handle the administrative nightmare of running a unit, but you are still a war fighter. You start feeling the physical toll of a decade jumping out of planes and sleeping on cold ground. Your knees ache, your back is ruined, but you hide it. A sergeant chef never shows weakness. Level 8. The Adjutant. 15 years of service. You are promoted to Adjutant, a senior warrant officer. You are a walking legend within your regiment. You rarely carry a rifle on patrol. You manage the operations of entire companies. You are the critical bridge between the enlisted men who bleed and the high-ranking officers who plan. The Legion isn't just your job. It's your entire identity. Your home country feels like a hazy memory. France is your home, and the Legion is your only family. You speak perfect French with a gravelly accent unique to seasoned Legionnaires. You have fully internalized the motto, Legio. Patria Nostra, the Legion is our fatherland. Level 9, the Chief Adjutant approaching 20 years of service. You are an adjutant-chef. You are the highest authority of discipline and tradition in the regiment. You report directly to the Colonel. Commissioned captains address you with deep, careful respect. You are the keeper of the Legion's history. Your job is to violently protect and pass down the culture of the Foreign Legion. You look at fresh Level 1 volunteers arriving at the iron gates and see ghosts of the men you served with 20 years ago. You know exactly what those kids are about to go through, and you know most will quit. Level 10. The Major over 20 years in, you reach the absolute pinnacle, Major. There are only a handful of you in the entire French Foreign Legion. You are an institution. You have given your youth, your body, and your original identity to this military order. When you finally retire, you walk out the gates of Albagny one last time. You are a civilian again, but only on paper. As you walk down a quiet French street, grabbing a coffee, no one knows you fought in 5 wars. They don't know you dragged a bleeding comrade through a jungle. They just see an older man with a perfectly straight back and a 1,000-yard stare. You realize the ultimate truth. You can leave the Legion, but the Legion will never, ever leave you.